Bet you can't call me Coby. Ooh.
I bet you I can. Challenge is accepted. So, first I know who you are. Your name is Mason, and you're famous for climbing skyscrapers all around the U.S. with no equipment. So I know this was going to be extremely hard. Now I had to figure out exactly where you were. That's the Red Rocks behind you, and you're in the Red Rock Canyon in Nevada. Before I made my way to the canyons, I needed to find the exact climbing equipment to be able to scale a full mountain because I saw you were way high up, probably 1,000 feet in the air on the side of a mountain. So I got the best rappelling, climbing, rope, everything you could possibly think of. I spent over $3,000 on climbing equipment. As soon as I got to the Red Rocks, I knew this was not going to be easy. I was told it takes over 5 hours to get to the spot that you licked, but I was going to do it no matter what it takes. The spot that I'm pointing to is the exact spot that you licked because I could see all the way up to the top, the framing, and it looked amazing. So I started climbing and scaling the actual mountain. I've never done anything like this, and I had my DNA kit and my Q-tip in my hand the entire time I was going there, and I was not gonna let anyone get in my way. 5 hours later, I finally arrived. I knew I was at the right spot because I found the bandana you left.
This is your clue. You have 24 hours.
So I put my climbing gear inside the rock and was ready to rappel the full entire mountain. I was told this harness I'm putting on is gonna save my life if anything goes bad. Now was the scariest moment of my life. I rappelled down a 1,000-foot mountain. As I'm going down, I had to find the exact spot that you licked so I can swab your DNA right off the side of the mountain. So with a little bit of measurements, I figured out you licked right here, and I swabbed your DNA right off the side of the mountain. With your DNA inside one hand, I used my other hand to pull myself back up the mountain so I could put your DNA back inside my chemical grade DNA case at the top of the mountain so you know exactly where I was. I then covered it up, and before I left, I took the orange handkerchief off the rock so you know I came and took your DNA and went back to my laboratory in Los Angeles, California. Back at the laboratory, safety is always first. I put on my $5,000 magnifying genealogy glasses. You can see I have my 2 cloning assistants in the back. He handed me an agar plate. I then placed your DNA inside the agar plate. Then I had my assistant give me the cytochrome 437 solution. What this does is it sterilizes the full DNA inside the agar plate so I could colonize it for cloning perfectly. I then placed your DNA under my $10,000 microscope and looked inside. I had my assistants look as well to make sure the DNA was moving. And yes, this is exactly what we saw underneath the microscope. The DNA was moving and perfectly alive, and it was time to start the cloning process. First, I put sodium chloride, otherly known as brine solution. What this does is extract every single piece of DNA from the tip of that Q-tip. Then I added 16 milligrams of phosphoric acid on top. This liquid is a bright green color, and then I added it inside my cylinder, and it was time to pour it down my DNA diffuser. Once it was down the diffuser, I knew it was going to be perfectly to put inside my nitrous oxide sub-zero tank. I then placed your DNA in my nitrous oxide sub-zero tank for 48 hours. That's you after only 4 months old. And soon I will have a skyscraper building climber for myself.